bounce trade. It's kind of a 60-minute bounce trade. I mean, that's what we call a bounce trade. It has a 4-column roadblock. Remember that levels range setting. It's all dependent on the levels range. And an hour box in the level. Okay, this is a short. This one is a short. So you'd want to see lower lows on the hour box, on the hour chart, because that's an hour box. Now, to take this trade, I've got it set to looking for a minimum of 3-column roadblock. So maybe it looks like maybe this isn't, maybe the L7 is not in the picture. Maybe it's just 3 columns. That's fine. And this will give me alert. Well, as long as there's 17 pips back to the 1-minute box. See, look at this. There's 16, right? The price is at 70 and it's 16. This won't give an alert, but check it out. If you got your levels range set to 2, say the price comes up to 72 real quick. Okay, say the price is at 72. Are you still at a 3-column roadblock if the levels range is set to 2? If our levels range is set to 2, is this considered a 3-column roadblock still? The price is at 72. You see our roadblock at 70. Price is at 72. So yes, that is considered still at a 3-column roadblock right here, because all these 70s are within 2 pips of the price at 72. And now we've got 17 or 18 pips back to the 1-minute box, which is more than the 17 required. So this will give us an alert. Does that make sense? Doesn't need clear roads back, just a number of pips back. So that will give an alert, and you can choose whether you want 20 pips. So I usually say 20 pips back to the 1 manually trading. I think 17 is good. Some people do 15. Some people need a 4-column roadblock. Some people are okay with a 2-column roadblock. I think 3 with 17 pips is good. You won't get a lot of alerts this way. There'll be a lot of people taking manual trades with only 10 pips back to the 1 when you're on the board, 13 pips, and you're like, well, I'm not getting an alert. Well, if you want more alerts, you just make the restrictions less restrictive. So make this 15 pips, 150 there. And that's the whole thing, is because it's not going to enter trades for you. It's just alerting you to a setup, and then you make the decision. So you don't have to worry, say, hey, look, I want more alerts so I can make more decisions. You just make these settings less restrictive. Once this thing is taking automatic trades for you, which is, we're going to talk about that later, then you're going to want to be more restricted, because you're not going to be at the computer. It's going to be taking trades. You're only going to want it to take the prime trades. Okay, so there's a difference if you're using this, which this FibAlert is designed solely for this purpose, using this as just a trading assistant. All right, so that's your basic settings. I mean, the number of roadblock and the number of pips you want back to the 1-minute box. That's it on the bounce trade. All right, and then when you get in there, you're going to want to make sure the bounce trade, the chart's looking right, and whatnot. And some trades, look, you say, look, I set this thing in a way, like you may say, look, I want to set it somewhat restrictive, because when I get an alert, I just want to hit yes. I don't want to look at anything. So if you want to be, if you want to just automatically take these alerts that it gives you, then make the settings pretty restrictive. That way it's being very selective, and it's giving you only alerts you want to take right away. So in that case, for example, for the, the 15-minute trend trade, the L7, maybe keep it true. Or the 5-minute, 1-minute white zone entry, just maybe keep it true if you want to just enter trades as they give you, be a little more selective. All right, let's move to the 15-minute bounce. Now this trade, I recommend, honestly, it's kind of an experimental setup. You notice we don't ever trade it in the trade room. I thought about leaving it out of this version. A couple setups I've left out of this version, the extended preemptive reversal, stuff that's just, just really, I don't want to confuse new guys off the bat. I want to put the basic stuff here. If you guys want to branch out, don't worry. We've got, there's ways we can do that. Once we get the whole, a critical mass of our traders at, a spot where we're understanding this, then we'll start maybe releasing more setups on this version. But I just don't want to give you too much too fast. There's no hurry. There's plenty of profitable setups on here as it is. But just to let you know what a 15-minute bounce is, it kind of looks like this. What can I bring up here? Okay, price is down here at like a 15-minute box. Boom. And you don't have a trend trade, but you're at a 15-minute box, and you've got some gap back up to your 1 and 5-minute box. This is kind of a 15-minute bounce. So I've got at least 10 pips. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm changing this to 20 or 17, because I only want extreme, because this is not a setup that is, is been tested well yet. So I only want an extreme setup. All right, so I want 17 pips to the 1 minute box, and I want at least two, should probably even set this to three roadblocks. All right, that way this is a, a setting that it's conservative. And if you get a 15-minute bounce trade setting with 17 pips to the 1 minute box and at a 3-column roadblock, you're good to go. Now this, by the way, there's no setting to include an L7 in the trade. I didn't tell you this. I'm telling you now. The bounce trade hardwired in the coding needs to have an L7 in either the 5 or the 1 minute level. Okay, it's hardwired. You can't change that. Because it's so experimental, I want this to be as conservative as possible. All right, so the 15-minute bounce, if you like it, this is for a long entry. Now, obviously, I'm showing you long entries. This could be short too. Just reverse everything. But 3-column roadblock, 17 pips back to the 1 minute box. Would this give us a trigger? This wouldn't even trigger because it's only 16 pips. One more pip higher on that 1 minute L1. All right, whatever. That'll do it. So that'll give me an alert. All right. Any questions on the 15-minute bounce? I don't want to spend too much time on it as it is.